Drakkenheim has fallen. The once shining capital of Westemar was devastated by unholy fire from the stars. 15 years later, adventurers, soldiers, priests, and cutthroats swarmed the city, seeking riches, renown, and revelation within the ruin. But nightmares and death prey upon those very souls from within the shadows over Westemar. Welcome to Shadows over Westmar. This is an unofficial live play based on the world of Drakkenheim by the Dungeon Dudes using the D&D 5e system. I am Ziggy, your showrunner, and I'm pleased to be here with Alhana.
Hi, it's all. I'm Alhana. I usually play friendly neighborhood chaos goblin Sprock, but tonight I'll be playing Corwin.
Moose.
Sup, y'all. My name is Moose. I am playing Randal Alaron before he became Hunter's Moon. He's a fucking rogue. He's a nerd.
And Ozma.
Hi. Normally I play Anna Castroma. Today I'm largely gonna be playing Kungald Waldron, a masked helper. I suppose. Relatively not well known by anyone.
And we are having yet another story of Westemar and learning about the moment in history where Randall was sent to investigate the reports of missing students at Altbruke University. And for those who may notice a slight change in what's going on, OBS is giving me some issues on my end and is not allowing me to stably stream the session. And instead of trying to connect a dozen or more pieces of this session in editing, post, we're just gonna fucking record it because I have not had issues in directly recording. And people asking why I don't do this to begin with, I don't have a lot of space on my hard drive. The whole thing is simpler for me to stream it to Twitch and then export that stream to YouTube and edit it anything I need to in YouTube. It just saves me a hell of a lot of space and is overall easier for me to do. Hopefully we figure out these issues that I'm having on my end, whether it's through updates or talking to a couple of the tech nerds I'm around, or maybe I just need to fucking make a human sacrifice. I don't fucking know.
Not it.
And I am sorry if you hear a dog in the background. That is Koa screaming his head off because he doesn't know how to go downstairs, even though he's a year old. Anyhow, enough.
He goes ass first.
He has gone face first, then ass first, tumbling up and down, head over heels down the stairs before. And his solution to that was just run back up the stairs because he was scared.
Do you know the definition of insanity?
He's a Pomeranian Chihuahua.
Oh, well, he's fucked from the start.
And he's the father of the puppies that people saw in the opening screen.
Any brains that the pups got came from Daisy, dog. Shit.
Yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and skip some of the preamble because we have already fought all these fucking tech issues for the last 45 minutes. And as much as I would love to drink, I don't have liquor right now.
So I'm boofing in Zig's honor.
I'm just handling the dice that I was given by the lovely Inane as a bit of a fidget toy to keep myself calm. So again, to Inane Dragon and Inane Princess, I thank you for these dice. They are wonderful. With that said,
all hail the dice.
they actually glow in the dark too.
Cool.
But with all the preamble out of the way, why don't we get to the fun? Let's get to the part where I make the players want to pull their hair out for once.
That's all the time. What are you talking about, man?
Alright. We gave a little bit of preamble. Gave the... there it is. Gave the lovely bit of information on... oh, I know what that is. Gave the lovely bit of information on the basic premise of the session. We're just going to start ourselves off in the tent, because that's so much fucking easier than whatever the hell I tried to do earlier.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we do have some people missing. One of them might join up later. I told both of them to take care of their fucking health first, because, well, health is more important than D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, head and health first.
Exactly.
Randall summoned into Elias Drexel's tent one morning with a bit of urgency. The only bit that he is told on his way in is that there's a new mission ready to go, and Randall's been itching to get out of camp for a little bit.
Randall just kind of parts the opening of the tent and walks into the room, making sure that him and Drexel are the only ones in there, and just looks at Drexel across from the table and just says, what was so urgent that you had to make me step away, Lord Commander?"
We might have a way to get a new ally in this war.
"Who's that?"
The Duke of Altbruke. He has a bit of a problem, and while he's always been cordial with the Hooded Lanterns and Manfred von Kessel, as you know, he's been trying to stay neutral. He reached
So, what is he getting out of this, if we help him?
the removal of a problem. The report came in of multiple students going missing at Altbruke University, and he thinks it might be something that needs to be handled more, let's say, directly.
What are we talking about?
I don't have too much information. I know students are going missing, and he had previously hired someone that you're going to meet. Someone called the Raven. He wants you to go to the university, meet up with the Raven, and get the details from her. Grab a few people that you think you may need on the way out, and get going.
All right, I'll see who I can scrounge up and find. Is there any telling on how long that this activity's been going on?
From what I got in the letter, kids have been going missing for about 3 months now.
That's a lot of time. Uh, do, do you happen to have any other information on where they were killed, or do I need to speak with the Raven personally?
He didn't want to send a letter regarding casualties, but he did report that they found body parts. A hand, couple feet, and what looked to be a half-eaten ear.
Are we thinking that people did this?
Oh, it's either people or whatever the hell may have crawled out of the river.
Yes, I think I remember hearing about that from Benvin. Okay, I'll grab up the forces I need and I'll give a report when I have the mission completed.
Alright, you... fucking brain. I worked for the first time in 2 weeks today, and my brain is not agreeing with it.
Yeah, I bet.
But make your way out of the tent, and you're able to grab a few of the people you need who... Not gonna say one of the names just because we aren't sure he's gonna come here, but if he does, awesome. If he doesn't, dude, take care of your health. Head and health first. It's in the fucking rules of the game.
Listen to the fucking rules for once, damn you. Do it.
Altbruke itself is about 3 days' ride from here, and it's fairly uneventful, although you do notice once you get to the town itself, you don't see a lot of younger people walking the street. It's mostly working age people or those who are less fortunate. Why the fuck is there a feather in my pants?
What?
No,
I just...
no.
I am sorry, I just pulled out a fucking whole ass feather from between the threads of my pants.
A whole ass fucking... Okay, cool. Damn. Nice magic trick, bro.
It's just because you're so angelic.
Have you...
I'm looking
don't
at the
know,
flag
dude.
on my wall that says bullshit to that.
Uh-huh. How many pigeons has Daisy eaten recently?
I'm more worried about the puppies eating them. Chopper can be a vicious little bastard, and we know he has food envy.
Is it a black feather? Did Daisy get Drakkenburb after all?
Kinda gray? Look, I'm throwing it in the trash bag. All gets put into trash here. Usually
Know your
because the
fucking place, trash.
Usually because the puppies get their hands on it. Alright. So, are you gonna stop anywhere on the way through Altbruke? Or are you just gonna go straight to the university?
I mean, I have all of my equipment and stuff like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
We
Alright.
should maybe see if we can, like, scrounge up some healing stuff before we do anything important.
Alright, so are you stopping at a chapel, or are you trying to actually purchase them?
Oh, well, this character doesn't have any money anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Alright, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna...
I don't really have money.
Forgot,
either.
forgot, this is not my, this is not, this is a new character,
This
technically.
is also not Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, this is a new character, technically, so.
That we need to scrounge up all the pots and pans and cups and books
The butter
and
knives.
yeah, and then just sell them.
Exactly.
Got a
Just
chest
gather
full of
everything
dead
up.
bodies.
A jewelry box full of hands.
No, it was full of blue jays.
No.
Alright, so you make your way to Altbruke University. And Altbruke itself is a very lovely campus. The grounds itself look very, very well kept. Get rid of those tokens. And it, oddly enough, even though it is close to noon, I don't see anyone wandering the yard. The sunlight, the sunlight shining off of the roofs, the glass, and the small domes atop each of the roofs seem to be glittering more than just the usual yellow-white light of the sun, but in a full rainbow of colors. As well, you can't quite tell from the ground if it's magic or some other kind of engineering feat. It's almost distractingly dazzling.
I stare at it for a minute before trying to take my focus off of it and look around the courtyard some more to see if I can find uh our raven.
Well, that would leave
Yeah.
it to a raven how she would wish to enter.
Yep. At the far side of the courtyard, you spot a slightly golden-skinned, youngish woman with long, dark hair, black and dark purple robes, with a crow on each shoulder, just standing there, looking around as if she's waiting on someone.
Randall spots you and kind of keeps his gun holstered on his back, but he has his hand just on his waist, just close to his dagger, just so that way he doesn't trust you right now. He goes, he walks up to you and asks, "You the Raven?"
Some taken to calling me that, yes. I'm assuming you're Randall?
Randall Alron. Pleasure to make
Uh,
your acquaintance.
I rush up and hold out my hand. Uh, Kungold, here. Kungold Waldron. How far? Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Likewise, it's a pleasure.
Anything that I need to call you other than Raven?
Well, my given name is Corwin.
Randall kind of raises his eyebrow and kind of clutches his dagger closely. He kind of cocks his eye too. He's like, "Corwin? Like old Mother Corwin from the Spokes? I know old Mother Corwin. You're not Mother Corwin."
Um, if you insist.
Are you a relation to her? Daughter, granddaughter?
Hmm, Something along those lines.
I see that the cat is gone.
Ah, someone's got a good memory. Oh,
Well, I certainly don't remember the birds.
you may not remember us, but we remember you. Cat killer.
Didn't look. It was an accident, okay? And how the fuck are you so knowledgeable on me anyway?
You know many things.
Well, I'm sure that ravens do see a lot. Um,
I'm more concerned with the fact that it can shit talk me right now. So what do you got on the kids who were killed here?
Well, from my research so far, with the way the few limbs that have been recovered were severed, it definitely looks uh, ritualistic and quite possibly involving some sort of dark magic.
So we're looking at a cult.
It would seem that way.
Or the occult.
Do we have any numbers on the cult? Any pertinent information on them that you have?
Unfortunately not. It could be one or two. It could be much bigger.
What about the people who were killed?
Mostly students that I've uncovered so far. There's plenty missing, but we don't yet have any positive identifications.
How
Hmm.
often do these killings occur?
Well, other than the parts that we've recovered, which are from at least a few different bodies, we don't know how often they occur, but the disappearances have been every few days.
And this has taken place over the course of the last 3 months.
Sometimes there's larger gaps between disappearances than others, but the shortest has been 3 days, and the longest has been a 10-day.
What about the bodies? Where did they end up?
Well, they've been dotted all over the place from what we found. We have the recovered remains down in the morgue in the refectory.
I totally did forget that. That is the exact reason why I needed a surgical theater map.
Yeah, the fucking morgue.
It's been a distracting month.
Who was gonna see some fucking autopsies?
Also, thank you, Che Peku, for the map.
Has
Looks like
there been any policy to decrease the killings? Like, I don't know. Do students walk in pairs?
I believe they have implemented that over the past few weeks, but other than that, I'm not aware of anything. I don't often spend much time around academy grounds if I can help it.
Neither do I. I tend to find these places a tad bit too stiffy for my tastes.
As you say that, you hear a rather short tiefling running across the campus, swearing up and down. And as you look at him, you just see a large number of his papers just slipping out of his bag. Ah, shit. Oh, no. No.
I don't think it's the end of the world if you drop your papers, kid.
He looks at you, grabs like two of the papers that have fallen out, and just mean mugs you as he's trying to put them back in his bag and failing horribly.
You should stop looking at me and focus on getting your shit together and getting out of my sight.
Sounds like a bit of advice for you. He just shoves his whole fist in, refuses to remove his fist from the bag, and walks away while mean mugging you. Only for him to trip over a couple of rocks a few steps later.
Randall just rolls his eyes at the fucking kid. He turns his head back towards Corwin and just asks, "So have you spoken to anyone around here about the killings here? Anyone knowledgeable on the grounds and what took place?
Not as yet. I was waiting for you. Easier to question people in your presence rather than having to parrot whatever they say when you get here.
Are people often in this rush? This much of a rush?
They are students.
I wouldn't know. As I say, I tend to avoid academy places.
As I said, a little too stiffy for my tastes. Let's just talk to these fucking nerds and find out why these kids are dying.
Follow me then. I'll take you to the basement.
Lead the way.
Taking them to the morgue first.
Yep.
Right. And do forgive me if I don't have tokens. Again, it's been a little chaotic. But I have a pretty map to look at.
Ooh.
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 It's fucking massive, as you could expect from Cheipaku. This is not sponsored by them, but I appreciate their work.
It's fucking awesome. I love this.
The other map is much lower quality, but what do you get from stealing from Reddit?
Fair
Remember,
enough.
80% of DMing is stealing from somewhere else.
Exactly.
How dare you? I definitely haven't DM'd and stole the Bloodborne system for
I mean,
a couple things.
Dog,
technically,
I'm already guilty.
this entire campaign is technically stolen from the dungeon dudes and just modified. Granted, I bought the book and will continue to buy their products because it's fucking good, but still, my point stands.
So, haha, Lamau, thank you, Dungeon Dudes, for letting me play Moon Knight in D&D. Awesome. 10 out of 10, would do again.
You're not just playing Moon Knight, you're playing fucking Vike from Elden Ring.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Alright, you enter the basement, which has been very beautifully renovated into a medical wing. It's take a second, breathe. The medical wing itself is chilling. Even for those who are used to the colder conditions of the north, are almost reluctant to not pull up their coats and try to keep themselves warm down here. It's clear that the university is using the natural coldness of the earth in order to maintain a safe place to store cadavers and other uh, thermally vulnerable specimens. This wing itself is almost too clean for your likings, having spent so much time out in the horrors of war and Drakkenheim. And specimens line the walls leading into the surgical theater. The theater itself has a few students looking over as a professor is giving a demonstration of an autopsy of what looks to be a elderly elven woman. The professor is talking in modest detail on how some basic differences of anatomy between elves and humans, but pointing out that when it comes to actually practicing medicine and treating wounds, they're not dissimilar at all. It's more of a matter that could be attributed to just differences in genetics. You must adjust how many stitches you make based off of their height and their weight, and you need to be sure that when you're using or when you're making these cuts or administering medicine, you need to use the proper materials. For elves, you do not use materials that are just hard steel. You must use properly treated materials. If you could get something fine like silver, it is almost universally welcoming to those who you will treat. The students seem to be paying about as much attention as you would expect out of a relatively empty room. But those who are sitting in the front are fascinated by the very rare aspect of an elven corpse to practice on.
I just kind of add on to what he's saying, just kind of being smug to the students. You should listen to the man. During a battle, I had an elven companion of mine sew me up with a silver needle. It was surprisingly more efficient than steel.
Mhm. I think you'd find cold irons more useful against Faken.
But I am in the practice of curing wounds, not agitating them. If I were to use cold iron, it could leave horrible irritation and even rashes that could become infected. Although the elves do have a tendency to be more resistant to disease, they are not immune.
Note to self: should have been born elf.
Are you going to
Do
be?
you often wish you were a different race?
No, but it would be nice to not get poisoned so easily in my line of work.
Oh no, sir. Poison and disease are very different. It's more like a natural immunity of theirs. They could still become sick, but the illnesses that you and I may have don't spread to them as easily.
Still would be kind of nice. Do they still get dysentery?
If they eat the wrong food, yes.
Yeah, never mind. Camp still sucks either way.
Uh,
How did the tokens get added?
I can
Just
actually.
drag. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Zig's got you.
you can just drag and drop from
Yeah,
the
You can drag and drop from the journal menu.
character list. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
might as well move y'all up because you would be closer to the actual theater of it.
Okay.
And I don't. Again, I don't have enough tokens because I added this like 10 minutes before we would have normally started, and I was trying to eat because multiple people in my house are sick, and I'm trying to be a good fucking person in this house and feed people.
Fucking
I
rough.
try, damn it.
It's rough.
Oh well. I have wonderful players who understand. And Moose.
Thanks. Appreciate you. Hope you step on a Lego that has a tack in it.
I'll just send you more food pictures.
No. Fucking refuse.
The lecture goes on for a few minutes longer as the professor shows that there's a number of different ways to apply stitches and sutures. But there's always one style that is best for a certain situation. For different limbs move and flex differently. Different parts of the body contract and expand differently. You must be aware and practice every form, for every form will be needed eventually. With that, he pulls the cloth over the elven woman and dismisses his class. Oh, I believe you're the one that the Duke sent, correct? Uh, Good to see you again, Madam Corwin.
And you. And yes, you would be correct in your assumption. The leader here is named Randall.
Oh, yes.
Randall Alron of the Hooded Lanterns.
Good to meet you. I am Professor Ironfist.
That was a good lecture you gave up there.
And I do my best to inform those, even if some of them are here purely on connection and not on merit.
You can't ask for everything to be perfect. I do
Oh,
have some information I would like to inquire for.
that would be?
Do you happen to know anything about the students who have gone missing here over the last 3 months?
I know of two of them, for I had them as students. And I have personally had to work on the remains of what came back.
I need you to tell me everything.
Well,
I need you to tell me the condition you found the bodies in and where you found them.
I will need you to narrow down what you would like to start with first, otherwise I fear I will lose pace of our target.
Well, if we're going to start at the beginning, we fear that there is a cult that is targeting this school, this institution. We are looking for anyone who may be here under false pretenses. Did any of the students in your class happen to have any enemies, or did you notice any suspicious behavior in the institution itself?
Unfortunately, that is a rather tricky line of thinking, for, as I've said, some of these students are here based on connection to the university and not necessarily to learn. There are those who are very, very powerful, and I'm sure you know too well that oftentimes the offspring are the targets to attacks rather than those who have power. The odd one out in this situation would be, uh, yes, I believe it would be Adam Leaf, or at least what she would prefer to be called. She was someone who came from Illyria, a student, someone who wishes to work with the uh, the sacred flame as a practitioner of more traditional healing rather than magical. She was here, honestly, by just sheer tenacity. She applied for multiple years and eventually got through.
For some reason, that feels less suspicious.
Yes, but for someone who had tried so hard to get into the university, it is rather odd that within her first week on campus, she is missing. She had been around the campus for many years as someone who was applying and trying to learn of what we offer. But not long after she got in and actually started attending, she had just stopped showing up.
Well, I fear that either A, this cult we're here to eliminate, either got her or she's one of them. And I'm rooting, and I'm willing to bet that she's no longer with us.
I do hope, in all sincerity, that you are wrong. She was a sweet soul.
Well, Illyria does have a dark past, but I'm hoping that we'll be on that by now.
Is there any similarities with the corpses?
They all show
Er-
signs of very unclean cuts. Not quite as if they were mutilated or sawn, but as if the implement to dismember was meant to be difficult to cut with.
Were they also generally well liked?
Not all of them. I forgive me
Okay.
for saying this, but I do not miss Zachary. He was quite disruptive.
Is that all that he was, though? Disruptive?
I tended to avoid him as often as I could, but he was very crass, very disrespectful to the bodies that are brought in. I understand that not all bodies are brought to us in the most gentle or polite persuasion, but are donated for the families to try to afford the burial.
In what way was he disrespectful to the bodies?
He would mishandle them. On one of the earlier days of class, everyone was tasked with simply learning how to properly remove clothing from a corpse. And he started stabbing the body rather than cutting the clothing. I
Oh,
I have
not
a I have a
concerning at all.
I have a feeling I know who our prime suspect is.
well, I would agree, but he was not a wise man at all.
You don't have to be wise when you're in a cult, you just need the numbers.
There, that is quite a fair statement. But he seemed more interested in what he could get away with rather than what he could actually do. Anytime he would be reprimanded for doing something inappropriate, he would find something else to try. After he stabbed the body, he started drawing on the body. After he was told he should only be marking the body with respect to what he was doing, he started peeling small pieces of flesh off of it.
Drawing,
So still quite insane.
drawing what precisely?
He would draw barely anything. We found him doodling on one of the corpses, and he started just writing on one. After we told him to stop doing that and actually practice what we are teaching, he started drawing almost butcher marks, labeling different cuts of meat.
Hmm.
As you
That
know,
is very.
as you know, the missing students that we are here to answer the deaths for, their body parts were dismembered.
One could say butchered.
Butchered.
No,
So means, but not necessarily motive.
he had the mindset of someone who could do it, but I do not know if he had the stomach. At the very least, in the right context, he would have been perfect for war. someone who does not care of or for the dead, someone who has the strength and willingness to cause great bodily harm, but I do not know if he would have had the motivation. He lacked the focus.
Well, I don't think he's a mastermind,
He could still
but
be
that
a
doesn't
pawn.
mean he isn't a tool.
I can agree with that. We do have the case of the hand. Uh, the hands themselves, he brings out a book and opens up to a sketch of the autopsy report of the hands. The hands themselves were cleaned. They were actually scrubbed of dirt and debris. It it would have been almost expected to find some dirt on them, especially if they were just thrown haphazardly into a ditch somewhere, but they were both placed on the stump of a tree without any marking or even a smudge of blood on them.
It could still be a message.
He nods his head. The wrists were cut with not a sharp blade, but not a dull one either. If I were to have an estimated guess, and the town guard thinks it's preposterous, I would say it's a form of ritualistic dagger and not a weapon that did it. I have seen some daggers being used with the academy, but I've never been able to actually get my hands on one to study how it would cut into flesh. If you do happen to cross one of them, I would buy it from you.
I do dealings every now and then. If you're open for market, I'll keep you in mind.
Thank you.
My prices will be higher than you expect.
I'm willing to accept
There
that.
are other debts that need to keep the wheel flowing. I'm sure you understand.
And I'm sure you understand how much I need such an implement to actually be able to practice stitching these wounds back up. Without wounds to practice with, I can't help.
You meet my price, you'll get your dagger.
I will see to that at the moment. I'm sure you have something much more pressing to ask.
I did, and then my mind went blank.
Where to fucking go, Moose?
Where the fuck it go? You son of a bitch! Carwin, help me! It was right fucking there!
Oh,
Were both the bodies in similar conditions, or were they different?
the bodies that we did find were, I would say that they were very similar condition. The wounds were in different places, and a few of the wounds were caused by different instruments. But these people were tortured and exposed to some unknown energy that I've never seen. And when I asked the academy, they were very hesitant to cooperate.
I'm willing to bet you that it was delirium.
They've never heard of such a thing.
That
It's
does it
a
make you delirious, or is that something different?
let's just say it's a very odd substance that shouldn't be talked about in such open hallways. I've had dealings with it in the past and they've all gone south.
I see. Well, one body was misshapen. The body itself, while very mutilated, had extra organs inside of it, and there is no clear way to insert the organs, and there's no suture marks on them either.
Mm. Sounds like
Mm.
classic mutation.
Indeed. I've encountered my share of mutated creatures in the past, and the symptoms match.
What causes such mutations to occur?
Hell if I know. I just shoot the things.
We do have a retired member of the academy that teaches a more rudimentary course on magic within the academy. They would be here around 4 p.m. tonight. They may be able to answer your questions regarding that delirium.
All right, very well.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Would it be possible for us to examine the remains?
We do have the body of one Elizabeth that is still on hand. But I do regret to inform you that the other has been returned to the family and buried.
Very well. We'll see the body that you have here right now.
Uh, he he goes over to his desk and lifts up a pen and quill. Uh, he writes on it, and then the feather itself, or the paper itself, coils up, wraps through the, uh, wraps itself around the feather, and then glides off down the hallway at a honestly impressive speed. You'd be hard pressed to keep up with it without sprinting. It's a lot. It's a lot more private than using a stone.
A lot more quiet, too.
Until it knocks someone over.
Well, you can't plan for everything.
No, you cannot. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having multiple students missing now, would we?
Trust me, this is not my first ideal place to be right now.
A few minutes pass, and you hear loud footsteps. Not really thundering, but clanking, as you would expect at night to sound going through such hallways. You look towards the entrance, and you see two large armored figures carrying a stone slab with them, with a tiefling woman on it. These large armored figures bring her over to the slab and place her down gently before standing at attention before the professor and being dismissed. Quite useful things. Just wish they didn't cost so much from the academy.
Yeah. Randall is just going to nod his head and walk up towards the slab and inspect Elizabeth's body, just looking at the cuts and where the body, where the parts of the body are separated.
Go and give me a medicine check. Jesus.
Woohoo!
The first
What
roll of
was
the
it?
day.
What the fuck was it? Oh, damn. I just scroll all the way down.
So the body itself is very well preserved. Going over it, you at least estimating through the battles you've been through and having to identify corpses yourself, you would say that this body itself is maybe about a week and a half old. Uh, it's still very well preserved, and you're not quite sure if it is a spell that was cast on it or the university is just very thorough in safeguarding the corpses. The wounds over it, most prominent ones that you see are several stab wounds to the chest and a cut throat going from almost completely through. But as you kind of open the wound a little bit, by whatever means Randall would, I almost imagine he uses his bare hands, you can see
Well,
he's kind of a bastard like that.
I mean, now that you mention it,
uh, it looks as if the only thing keeping the head on is the spine itself, where there is no cut behind it, as well
oh,
as some of the tougher connective tissue within the neck. Beyond that,
Well,
you look a little bit closer and you see somewhat faded marks of rope burn around the arms and legs.
can I spot any like ritualistic markings or perhaps doodling?
uh, Give me an investigation check on that one.
Just too fucked up to tell.
That's a nope.
I mean, even with
well,
yeah, but
what does the body look like?
it is
Well,
a blue-skinned tiefling woman who
No, I meant. Sorry, I was asking Randall because Randall just like
okay.
was searching the corpse.
Well, stabbed in the chest to holy hell. Her neck is barely hanging on by tendons and the spine. Yeah, she has been. She I would say that this is a ritualistic murder if I've ever seen one.
Did they not try to Did they try to not to kill her slowly or whatnot? Is that why they didn't sever the neck?
I'm going to assume. Can I tell which of the wounds came first, the sliced neck or the stab wounds?
uh ignoring the rope marks, you could tell that the stab wounds on the extremities were first. But there is clear signs of brutal abrasions and multiple very small, almost needle, or not like needle, but they are. It's similar to how a needle would go in, but much larger.
So like like an ice pick?
Uh, it's similar to that, yeah.
Okay. So it appears, and I'm also pointing out the rope burns on her now because I failed to mention that. It appears that she was stabbed through the chest first, leaving her to bleed on the inside, and then cutting her throat after, leaving her to choke on her own blood.
Corin's
It-
gonna look over the body for any residual traces of magic having been used at any point.
Arcana check.
Was there any drawings or
18.
similar writings?
I tried checking for that and that fucking sucked.
Can I check for that?
Did we lose the Zig?
Hello, Ziggy.
Zig?
Sorry, wife came up and she was
Oh.
going. She was hesitant to ask me to get the puppies up here.
We thought we just lost you to internet issues again.
Yeah.
Wife isn't feeling great today. Whenever she's not feeling good, I have a habit of muting my mic, so if there's something she needs to say, she could say it without fear.
Fair enough.
Fair.
So you would need another investigation check to actually look through the body was cleaned as it was brought in, so you would have to look a little closer to see if you could find out any other markings. With the Arcana check, you would tell that it looks as if some very basic magic was used to prevent bleeding. But it's hard to really tell. It's hard to really tell what kind of magic would have been used. But there's definitely signs of unnatural clotting.
What is it, Corwin?
The way the blood is clotted does not look natural, as if the flow of blood had been held back with some sort of magic.
They would
Right.
want her to. They would want her to not bleed. Why?
That is indeed the question, isn't it?
Alright. Just a quick moment. I'm going to change scenes and go take care of the puppies real quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
did
I'm
you?
gonna bio quick.
Yeah. Take a quick break. We'll take a few minutes here.
Sounds good.
And we are back with another jackass here. Would you care to introduce yourself for the recording?
I am Timmy. I'm playing Bistil Oversath, which is a Lenishy arcane hand monk.
And now we have a nearly full cast. And with that, we return to the glorious action and hand wave. Who the fuck gave me a hype train? I'm not even
What?
live.
What?
I
Okay,
got a fucking
how?
hype train and I'm not even live.
Oh,
Oopsie,
Fuck
I'm
you!
sorry.
Fuck you!
Alhana, bruh. Bruh. Ain't no
Bastard!
ain't no fucking shot.
Now here's the fucked up thing. Multiple people have to contribute in order for it to be a hype train.
Lesage.
Yeah, it was just you saying about you getting a follow just reminded me that I didn't renew my subscription when I was on the stream when you were trying to get it working earlier.
You fuck!
We'll just blame Mully.
Don't you fucking chew that.
Yeah, I didn't actually expect the hype train to start from just 2 things.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
That's it.
Okay, moving on. Fuck you. Come here, buddy. Come here. Chopper. Go. What do you want, Lyric?
Cat, don't get on the computer. It's not good.
Sorry, I have a hyperactive puppy. And another one tried to steal my wife's ice cream.
That bullshit will not stand, little rat.
Yeah, my kitty just pushed the windows. Get off.
No? You don't want me to spray him? I don't want to. He's trying to get fucking chocolate. I will snipe you in the nose like I did last time. I am sorry, but he's trying to steal my wife's ice cream cone, which has chocolate on it.
Get that fucking rat.
Yeah. So are we still in that around the academy place that we were
Yeah.
last?
Yeah, we're at Altbruke University.
Okay. Oh, we're in that room that we're going to go last time, but
Yeah, we're in an autopsy room in Altbruke.
Mhm.
My brother in rice.
My
Nah.
brother and Reesmus.
Christmas.
Reesmus Priestmas. Merry fucking Chrysler.
All right, so anything else you wanted to check out?
In regards to the body, I honestly don't know. I think we found everything we could have found.
Yeah.
Sounds like the answers would be elsewhere.
Yeah.
I want you to know that
I think
Lyric-
we've gotten everything we could.
I want you to know that Lyric is running a circuit of from the dog bed out to the foot of the bed, under my bed, then back out.
So the question is, where do we go from here?
What's their choices?
There's always
Well-
the option of asking around.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm...
Well, there is
Coming
the
towards.
basic magic guy.
The basic magic guy.
Lyric.
Yeah, the-
Yes, around 4 p.m. I believe. Right?
Yeah, there is a rudimentary magic teacher that comes in around 4.
That's right.
A
That's
retired member of the academy.
We can
Ask
also
him.
ask around and see if we can find anyone that knows where we might find a psychopath.
The kid, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Let's
I-
let's go searching for some Blues Clues.
Let's go look for the kid. I like that idea.
I'm sorry for those dealing with Lyric's barking. She is hiding under the dog bed and wants someone to chase her.
Pay attention to me, petty mortal.
I turned around to her and she bolted under the bed.
You ain't catching me.
You know.
Bullshit.
Zoomies.
Gonna catch her like I
Zoom.
catch Moose slacking.
Catch me slacking, excuse me? Since when, motherfucker? Since when?
When I got
Always
your
strap,
address.
What? Oh.
That wasn't me slacking. I wouldn't call that me slacking. I would call that me not burning the shit that you sometimes send me, the cursed bullshit that you threaten. You little slut. Although I do appreciate the dice.
Yeah. And the
I do love the
controller.
dice. And the controller.
Nice. Cool. Purple.
Alright, so you decided you're just gonna ask around?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to
Fucking
the
hit
main
my
map.
knee on my desk.
Ouch.
Get bodied.
Fuck you.
Get body. Body blow. Body.
I wish I could get her under control. Get grabbed. Command crab.
I'm a fish.
She wanted water. She was barking and running around because she wanted water, but she wouldn't let me pick her up.
Oh yeah, so Timmy, if you want to do the whole hand wavy thing of, oh, I just hired you on at the beginning of this session and you've been here ever since, go right the fuck ahead, because I don't know what to say to you right now.
Listen, we are here.
Yeah.
We are here for fun.
Yeah, I'm literally just bullshitting, so
What makes you think I have most of this written down?
exactly.
And I don't really know what to say at them. You know.
I just want to see where the fuck these cultists are, man.
Yeah.
You asked for a
Gotta-
mystery.
I did it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking invested. Where the fuck are they?
We gotta ask for the kid. We gotta find that psychopathic kitty bitty.
All right.
That
Do
stupid
you have
kid.
anywhere you are going to try to start?
What time is it?
Yeah. What
It
time
is
is
around 1:30ish.
Question: do we know what like classes the kid takes here? So like what teachers we can talk to?
You have not gone anywhere to like any form of administration. You basically found the Raven and then
Well, I guess we could always check.
Well-
I guess we could always check the professor's quarters or the library or even the
Well,
lecture rooms.
I was
The other
thinking
lecture
the
rooms.
lecture hall, the lecture rooms, because
Mhm.
it seems like it would be about the time for people to be doing classes. And given how this person acts up, I'm sure that's consistent with any of the classes that he goes to.
I think
This
that would be.
Zachary or whatever his name is.
You think Zachary would be doing some stuff in there or something?
If he's even here.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Because
Okay.
chances are he ain't.
We can go in the lecture room.
Professor, does this Zachary of yours have a surname?
I'm sorry, one more.
Professor, does this Zachary of yours, your problematic student, does he have a surname at all?
Yes, I believe it was Engelhart.
Thank you very much. Okay, then maybe the administration department can give us some information.
The administration?
It's a good place to get information as any.
Yeah. You want? I like that idea.
You make your way down towards administration, and there's a sorry, I forgot I was charging my Fitbit, and I felt my wrist, and there was nothing there, and I got confused. ADHD is weird.
It is.
uh,
Fuck you looking at?
you get down to administration, and there is rude. There are two people sitting at the desk. One a middle-aged man, and the other a halfling woman. You would assume is around her 30s.
Randall will
Oh.
Randall will walk over towards the pair and introduce himself. Excuse me, Randall Elron of the Hooded Lanterns. I have some questions for you.
Yes?
I'm looking for a student that comes here. I'm looking for a student here. I believe he goes by the name of Zachary Engelhart. I have reason to believe that he is a suspect in occult followings that I'm dealing with.
Wait. Zachary Engelhart.
Yes, you clearly know him.
The Duke's son.
Yes.
The Duke's son?
The Duke.
He checks through a ledger. Yeah, no, that's the only Zachary Engelhart here.
Do you know where he is?
I don't work in admittance, but I saw him maybe a few weeks ago being very disruptive in the courtyard. Something about ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate what?
Frisbee.
Some game that they play where they throw discs.
Well,
Well, that's
by
not
all,
very pertinent.
well, by all accounts, he's being much more disruptive in his classes.
Yes, he has a write-up in the books, but I simply file those. I don't actually read through them.
I'm sure he's a delight. Deception check. Wait. Damn it.
Oh boy. Your sarcasm is not lost on me.
Do you mind if I have a look at those files?
I'm gonna have to have some form of identification from you to do that.
I present the mark on my pauldron, and I show it to him. I am officially part of the Hooded Lanterns. I'm one of their scouts. I was sent here officially with the Raven over here. Do you want these murders solved or not?
He writes down your name and the Raven in the ledger. Says, I'm sorry, I just watched one of the dogs fucking swan dive onto their mom. They're adorable and distracting. But he says, right, I'm just gonna need your thumbprint, then I can hand over the records.
For what purpose?
It's just to help match up names and any form of identification. It's just procedure.
You're very protective here at Altbruke.
We do handle some very sensitive materials.
And yet you managed to get infiltrated by a cult, it seems. And I stick out my thumb for the identification.
He roughly shoves some, he kind of roughly shoves your thumb into a inkwell, blots off some of it from the sides with the cloth, and presses your thumb into the ledger next to your name. Alright?
Did I piss him off with that statement? Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Then he turns back, cleans off his hands of any excess ink, and then searches through the cabinet and hands you the file. I do have to say, you cannot leave this room with that. Take as much time as you need, but you cannot leave the room.
Noted.
It's just,
And I open up the file and I start reading through its contents.
go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Mm.
Can I?
Yeah, I'll hand it over to no.
I'll,
I was gonna say I'll hand it over to Bistil. These are too formal for me. You might be able to decipher this better than I.
okay.
Yeah, Bistil's an investigator.
Yep, I am an investigator. So let's.
Oh no!
Well,
I'm the investigator.
may I look at it? I have worked with you before.
The dice give it, the dice take it away. Go ahead.
Damn it!
Okay, we got
Damn, dog.
the highest was a 10. To be fair, it is very posh cursive.
It's official. You suck.
You all will die.
Maybe you would have gotten
You all
maybe you would have gotten an actual printed transcript if Randall wasn't being Randall.
Randall can't help but Randall. He can't help but Randall until he dies.
He's a Randall hole.
He's a Randouche bag.
Looking over it, there is a talk of a there was a talk of a dispute between Zachary and another student, but the handwriting itself is difficult to make out beyond. It's hard to make out the other student's name, and there are several reports of Zachary being not just disruptive but destructive in class, destroying different pieces of equipment, and there are several noise complaints filed against him, with the most recent one being about 4 days ago.
So what do we got? So what do we got there, Corwin?
Well, there's a few disruptions here. One is a few days old.
Hmm. Do we have the nature of the disruption?
It seems to be a noise complaint of allegedly stolen band equipment being used throughout the women's dormitory.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
It's a fucking university, dog. This kid just tries to get away with fucking everything.
Even murder. No,
Even murder, yeah, apparently.
No.
Murder.
I ain't ruling his ass out. I ain't ruling his ass out yet. I'm still yet to see if he has the guts to kill someone. We're gonna find him hunched over
I
a
still think
corpse,
he's just a
Gollum
useful
style.
idiot.
Or he helped them kill someone.
I too am
Yeah.
an idiot.
I too am of the fucktarded persuasion.
I mean, you see how little I prepared for this.
Let's
I had to ask my players for fucking maps last time.
Yeah. Me and Alhana sent the same damn map of the tent. Single brain cell moment.
Well, should we be checking for Frisbee in the courtyard or checking the lecture room for disruptions?
Does the ledger mention whether he's dormed on campus or off campus somewhere?
It the his information says that he is based on campus, but he frequently leaves it in order to go to the Duke's estate.
I'm guessing Duke's estate's pretty a little far.
Well, hell,
away.
I kind of want to see his like dorm. I doubt much is in there, but there could be something.
There could be at least a clue. Yeah. I want to go to the dorm. Yeah.
Does it happen to mention which dorm room he's in?
Dorm room 321 in the southern part of the men's dormitory.
All right. We all want to go there? I want to
Yep.
go there. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just saw my puppy trip on a shirt. Puppies are quite distracting. You find your way down to room 321, and the door itself is graffitied with the words "Zach and the boys."
Can I stealth check up here while people are looking the other way?
It'd be hard considering there are some students traversing this, and it's a relatively empty, or it's a relatively unadorned hallway.
All right. Well, first things first. I'm just gonna take a look at the door. Is it locked? Can I open it?
I mean, you can make the stealth check if you want. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah. No, I and would that be disadvantage?
It would be disadvantage, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
God damn it. I'm sorry, but the pup keeps tripping over.
I mean,
everything.
10 isn't very good. But yeah.
You get a few odd looks as someone who's trying to look a little too inconspicuous. But the door itself is unlocked. But it seems a little harder than it should be to open.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and leverage my shoulder over the door and shove it open.
You push your way through, and it looks that behind the door is just a bunch of clothing and what looks to be multi-day-old ravioli.
So we've got an
Can,
Asmongold situation.
I was about to say,
Cowboys
yeah.
are-
How many Dr. Pepper cans are in that fucking room right now?
Crazy.
Can I?
Before I look over the room, I quickly turn towards Bistil and give him the day's old ravioli.
As you go
No, I shove
through,
it right in Randall's face.
as you go through, there's a student who looks to be in his early 20s, like, "Oh, hey! You bring Zach back?"
No, we're currently investigating his whereabouts. Who are you?
Has he been missing?
I haven't seen him for a few days, but I thought he was with his dad.
Interesting.
Is that what he told you when you last saw him?
No, he just kind of likes, to wander off. I mean, he's the Duke's son, so I figured he'd just want to go somewhere that has more booze.
What did he say to you the last time you saw him?
He said that he got his hands on a drum kit and he wanted to show it off to the girls.
Fucking idiot.
Where is the best booze?
I would say that you gotta go into the teacher's place, man. You either go to the teacher's place or you follow him to the Duke's estate. I mean, I've been there like twice and they have like 6-year-old wine there.
Do you know which teacher's estate exactly
Oh, just the
has
ones,
the good booze?
just the ones across the campus.
Okay, thank you very much.
Just
Well,
don't get caught trying to steal it. They get real mad about that.
well, I doubt he would have been over there for 3 days.
No. I don't think he's anywhere on campus at all.
No, I don't think he's on campus.
Hi.
I mean, if you find him, like, tell him that it's his turn to do dishes.
Why don't you do it yourself, you fucking slob?
I would, but we gotta listen to the chore wheel, man.
I'm gonna look around
chore wheel?
the dorm.
Yeah, can I do investigation check to see if there's like
Go
any
ahead.
clues?
Go ahead and do an investigation.
Yeah.
check.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Can I assist Timmy with his? Okay.
Motherfucker.
But, like, if you don't listen to the chore wheel, man, it just gets real. Turns into chaos, you know?
Will you shut up about your stupid chore wheel?
It works, man.
Well, it's obvious he doesn't if the person that comes up on the wheel isn't around.
I
By
know.
my reckoning, you should give it another spin.
But then you're just being exploited, aren't you?
Someone's gotta fucking do it. Go ahead. Pansy ass, give it a spin.
But still, you would note that, well, beyond this place just being an absolute fucking disgusting mess of food just being on the ground and clothes not having been washed in what smells like a couple weeks, there are definite signs of Zach living in this place beyond just his name being scrawled on the walls multiple times. But there is a small journal that is kept at his desk.
May I open that up and look at it?
Did you find the drums?
I have found a journal. I did not find the drums, though. Can I look at the journal to see what?
The journal itself has a lot of entries, with the last one being about 4 days ago. Going through it, you... Rude. Going through it, you find that he has dozens of entries of things that he thought would be really fun ideas to do. And one thing stands out through all the honestly reprehensible mutterings in it of being what Zach says is some kind of creepy club that tried to convince him to go hang out near the menagerie at night.
The menagerie, huh?
Guys,
It
Randall, listen to this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The journal itself mentions these creepy club people multiple times, with each time they offer more and more stuff, with the last time that they are mentioned, they had offered at least 3 different kinds of snack food and 2 bottles of 4-year-old wine.
And that's what, and they were asking for him to get.
They were offering to give it to him.
They were offering to give. Oh,
So he didn't get his booze from the fucking teacher's lounge. He got it from them.
He got it from the creepy. All right. And I.
Hmm.
And for those who don't know, 4-year-old wine is not great.
Yeah,
It's not.
wine in general is mid as fuck.
I don't like wine.
I don't like wine either.
So the last entry was from 4 days ago. Seems like the last time he was here. But and then I tell him about the and he talks about a creepy club, about asking them to hang out, go hang out at the menagerie at night.
Oh, you
Does it?
You talking about those creepy dudes in the green robes?
You know
What do you
about
mean
them?
creepy? Can you tell me what?
Oh, they're just these real creepy dudes. They're like, the robes are like super grody, man. Like,
Do you know what it?
they like to go around campus trying to talk people into hanging out with them, but I just get a bad vibe.
What do these people call themselves?
I don't know. It's like they try to call themselves the Order of something, but I just kind of tune them out.
Do you know where they reside, or is there a certain time they come around the campus?
They're usually here around the evening. Like, you could see them talking to people, but they usually don't talk to anyone unless it's like one person at a time.
Okay, Randall is gonna get a little mean. He's kind of sick of this kid's shit.
Yeah.
He grabs him by the shirt collar and says, "I need you to start taking this seriously now, damn it. Your classmates are dead. What was the name of the group of people you saw your friend walking around with?"
I'm gonna put
And I want
my
to
shoulder,
intimidate him.
my hand firmly on Randall's shoulder and say, I believe it might be best to calm down a little.
Still
I
going to
don't
intimidate
think...
him.
Go. You got a 10.
Brother.
That 20 and none of the good rolls are being used for like the direct shit.
I know, it's sad.
I'm telling you, man, I can't remember. It's like the Order of. It's supposed to be like the Order of the Elder something.
All right, I'm gonna try something else. Just gonna try something else. After this, do whatever you want. I throw him to the ground.
I try to catch him.
I grab Randall and I tell him to calm down, knock it off.
What would that be to try to catch him so it's not like hitting the
Yeah.
ground hard?
Either athletics or acrobatics, either or.
Because I'm just spinning around and I'm throwing him. Oh, hell no.
He lands on me.
You slip in an old half-eaten bean burrito, and he just kind of collapses on you.
I grab him by the back and I turn him around and kind of toss him off of Coongold. And I tell him, "You better start talking quick. Get your memory in order, asshole."
Hey, man, I've been honest with you. But, like, want to know more, what was his name? It was that weird red dude. He was on fire last week.
On fire.
Oh, I know who he's talking.
Yeah, it is this little red dude. I don't want to say he was a tiefling, but, like, I think he might have been one.
Oh, I dread to imagine who it is. And I know exactly who you're talking about, you useless son of a bitch.
Who? What?
Where did you see him last?
You're telling me you didn't recognize him when you went through the courtyard earlier?
I try not to pay attention to him when he's around.
He usually spends most of his time in the library. Like, he does a bit of tutoring on the side. Apparently working on his PhD. Pretty proud of him.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Thanks for being absolutely worthless and giving me a headache.
I'll tell you this. If you smell rosemary, you're near him.
Trust me, my nose hairs flame at the fucking scent of it.
Alright, you'll have a pretty
asshole.
easy time finding him.
And clean this fucking room, you rat.
I would, but it's Jimmy's turn to clean the floor today.
I'm gonna clean myself off while this is happening, just because.
You know what? I toss the chore. I just take the chore wheel off the wall and like frisbee throw it at his head, not to hurt him, but just to get him to pay the fuck attention.
It kind of bounces off his head. He's like, oh. He looks at it on the ground. It's like, oh, I guess it's my turn to do the laundry. And he starts picking up clothes.
Let me have a look at that for a moment. And she plucks the wheel out of his hand and wiggles her fingers and rubs some fleece against the back of the wheel, and she turns it around. And it looks like you're down for all the chores today.
Oh, bummer. I was supposed to have dinner with my folks. Maybe I'll have them over.
I would not invite them here until you do everything on that wheel.
You're right. I'll just have them for breakfast. And he just gets up and starts picking up.
Get me the fuck out of this room now.
By the way, I pocket the journal for.
Alright. Where are you going now? It's around, it's getting close to 3.
Well, we might as well go hit up the library since no one's going to be around the menagerie at this time.
Yeah.
I assume library, then the 4 o'clock person, then.
Yeah.
And then take a break until the evening.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I like that. Ooba dooba suba dooba.
To the motherfucking library.
You make your way to the library, and it is beautifully stocked. Like, you would be hard-pressed to find a more well-organized and clean library anywhere outside of a major city. And even then, this is much better than some of the more public libraries that you saw in Drakkenheim. Eric Soulsock, I'm sorry.
Randall just kind of looks around, almost kind of amazed, and almost as if he's kind of plotting. Never seen so many books in one location.
I bet you like that, don't you, Randall?
I don't know what you're referring to, but still, just interesting that all these books are in one location. I've never seen it before.
You've never been to a library before?
Not one this massive, no. Typically, I get my knowledge from tips and rumors, and when I have to, temples and more delicate documents.
Delicate.
Yes, Bistil, delicate. Something I'm sure that you know much about with your days at the academy.
Drinking some baby.
The library itself is dimly lit in the similar light that you saw on the roofs outside, but at a much lesser intensity. The light itself focuses on uh the light itself focuses itself on the appropriate labeling for each of the columns of books, and it's you can tell that the university has put a lot of care in making this library a very welcoming and comfortable place to just be in. As you're going through, you notice all the different sections of books and all the different genres as they're collected through. Works of fiction, medical history, historical significances of different battlefields, as well as the outcomes from the battlefields. And as you're coming across the section on alchemical reagents, the scent of rosemary hits you in the face. It's not quite overwhelming, but it is very difficult to ignore.
Randall just stops in his tracks, closes his eyes, and exhales forcefully.
You seem very annoyed. Who is this person, Randall?
Ericos, come out, you stinky son of a bitch.
Oh,
No.
no.
No, he couldn't
Not
be here.
him.
No, he couldn't be.
No.
Probably just my head. As you turn the corner, you see Ericos sitting at a table with a few women actually with him. And you do see him pointing out a couple sections in the books in front of him.
Ericos, what the hell are you doing?
Randall, what are you doing here?
I'm on an investigation of missing kids at Altbruke University. What the hell are you doing here?
I'm a student. I'm working on
You're
my
a
doctorate.
student.
Yes.
I was hoping that kid was bullshitting.
It
Well, I'm gonna need your help on something here, Ericos. Can you find me any information in this library on recent events on cult activity?
it'd be section G, row 15, third shelf from the bottom.
Randall is gonna try and confusingly try and find his way towards this book that he's going
What?
to be guided towards.
Do you need help,
Why,
Randall?
thank you.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just give me a second.
I'm gonna
Randall,
head.
you're going in the wrong direction.
I'm gonna head.
Well, then you
right
get the
towards
damn
it,
book.
if possible. I see dim light as bright light, so I assume it shouldn't be too hard to find the right way to through
Yeah,
the library.
it's fairly easy to see here. It's just the light is a lot less intense here, almost as if it's catering to everyone's different vision.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So I probably would like the light a lot because of
Yeah.
dark vision.
No, so what do
The
you
right
what do you
amount.
do?
You manage to find your way over to the correct shelf, and there's a book labeled History of the Occult within Westemar, a brief summary of more sinful practices.
I grab the book from the bookshelf and hold it up above my head and point to it. If assuming other people can see me.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right.
Walk over to him.
Yeah, just head right
I guess
over.
I'll start reading it, actually, as long as I'm here.
Okay.
All right, give me an investigation check at advantage.
Okay.
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 Let's go.
You're able to go through and piecing together the bits of information from the rather impractical man in the filthy room. You find a chapter about the Order of Eldritch Proliferation.
Ooh.
The chapter itself describes the practices of a cult who worships some being from outer realms, somewhere within someone from the realm between realms. And different practices of sacrificial rituals that were meant to bring this being to the material realm, as well as the numerous times that this cult had been thwarted by by the Amethyst Academy, as well as the uh Hooded Lantern.
Well, then I suppose we have. It very clearly is appears to be this cult, the cult of Eldritch. Well, what was the last thing?
The Order of Eldritch Proliferation.
Oh, the Order of Eldritch Proliferation. The rituals seem similar, and they seem to be trying to bring some sort of in between realm creatures to this realm. I wonder if any of that delirium has anything to do with that. I'm not well versed in delirium.
Randall just kind of takes a look over at Bistil and Corwin. Well, how about it? What do you think?
No, it definitely sounds like our cult.
Can I try and recall any history from the last reports that came through in our camps of the cult of Eldritch Proliferation?
You would not. You know what? Fuck you. Give me a history check.
Can I help him?
Brother.
My brother and rice. You do not remember anything directly. Randall
Yeah, shut my
knows
headphones
that
tight.
he's had to shut
1
down
second.
a couple cults before, but he's never really gave a shit about who he was killing.
Who didn't care?
Randall didn't really give a shit about who he was killing.
Right, okay. And okay. Well, I don't remember encountering this cult before, and I don't remember them being logged in any of our battle reports. Which means there's not that many of them as we were expecting.
Well, they have been thwarted on at least a few different occasions, according to this book. So, I assume they would have to reform each time, or perhaps it could be people trying to recreate the cult because they think it's cool, and then they got sucked in to the cultness.
Obsessed.
Yeah, perhaps. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, now the task is simple. We just have to find them at the menagerie and destroy them.
I like the sound of that, Randall. That we can agree on.
Well, then I suppose we just need to pass some time until nightfall.
Well, no, there's the person who knew about delirium.
Yeah, we still have to speak.
That might factor in. It might be good to speak with this person. And
The
then
more
go.
information we have, the better.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'd like to. They know more about delirium, you said?
Well, there's a person teaching simple magic who might know about delirium. The person that we spoke to in the bodies place mentioned something about mentioned something about delirium, but also mentioned that this one teacher might know about delirium, and he
Okay.
is around 4.
I would like to ask. Yep.
I go up. Is there a counter in the library?
There's a front desk, yes.
Yeah. Can I check this book out?
While Kungold is doing that, can I like just browse the shelves and like with my knowledge of expensive things, can I just like mark out which of these books I know are expensive?
Hey,
If you give me an investigation check,
Fuck, dude.
you are pretty bored by all of the books.
and Bistil's watching you like sitting relaxed on a thing with his arms crossed, just staring, watching you.
But you are able to check the book out, but they do ask that you bring it back before the end of the week.
Yes, most certainly. I do plan to bring it back, so I don't want to write it down. I just want to keep it with me just in case.
In case you want to reference it again.
Yeah. Or like want to just show someone the page or whatnot with the cults and yeah.
It'll be helpful for the teacher we need to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boofing.
On your way out, you do see. On your way out, Randall does catch Ericos actually flirting with one of the girls. And not even in like, he's not even like bold about it either. You just see him lightly brush the hair past her face, and you're not sure if you should cringe or be angry about it.
Randall quickly rolls his eyes, and before Ericos can even like get a glance, he's just giving Ericos a thumbs up.
Alright, so
Funny, just flip them off.
Pretty much.
Would have been funny. Oh, my head.
I think we're gonna end it there, just because it's a good spot to end, and I want to make sure we have enough for the end, or to actually make it through the time slot for the next part.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So, with that, good night. Thank you for watching, and remember, someone loves you.